Hey, welcome back everybody. Sign here again with another create tutorial video. So yeah, we've got boiler done, we've got gear reduction done, and I had a request for a windmill. Let me just grab a block here. Now there are two different ways you can do windmills. You can do a vertical windmill, or you can do a horizontal windmill, right? Here, we're going to set the horizontal up over here. And you'll need this windmill bearing. That is the block that controls it all, right? So there we go. You can have it upright, or you can have it mounted sideways. And now, we're also going to need now chassis, right? Radial chassis. And these things are pretty cheap. It's just, you know, logs and andesite alloy. And to make a windmill, you just come out. Usually I just go one block, but you know, you can go out as many as you want. And these things are directional, so do be careful with that. I need my wrench as well. Now the chassis are kind of interesting. Get up here, you can see a distance. And that is how far out they will connect to blocks that are nearby them. Defaults to 8. Which works great for windmills. And for other, you know, blocks as well. Now, the minimum size of a windmill, by the way, they don't have to be facing all in the, you know, same, you know, clockwise, counterclockwise direction. But the minimum size of a windmill is 8 of these windmill sails, which is sticks, andesite, and any color wool. We'll give you 2. And if you want, you can turn them into these windmill sail frames, and yeah, they still work. It's just to change up the appearance of everything. But after you get your 8 sails hooked up to your radial chassis, just right-click the base. That was loud. And you can see it's relatively slow right now. Now, for a horizontal windmill, it's kind of the same thing. Get your 8 down, and right-click it. And hey, look it, there it goes. And now, you can pull from this power here, and send it to wherever you want to your base, right? Or in your base, so on and so forth. If you don't like the direction that the power is coming out of here, you can just click and hold here and choose clockwise, counterclockwise. Or you can, you know, use a gearbox, right? Now, use this for windmills, pretty much anything. These are the second most powerful rotational energy producers in the pack. Well, oh, not the pack, but the mod, right? The base mod. Motors are pretty good too, but those are from an add-on mod. The most powerful is, of course, you know, the steam engine. This engine here is producing twice as much stress as even the largest windmill can produce. But these are a lot cheaper and available a lot earlier, as long as you have access to like a sheep farm. You know, you're going to need a lot of wool. Now, the max size of a windmill is 32, or it's, no, not 32, 128 sails. And when you go to place these sails down, you can see it actually shows you a ghost where it's going to be and an arrow, which is very, very handy, right? So now we have this wonderful box, and you can see it's now spinning faster. The more sails you put on it, the more stress it will produce, and the faster it will spin by default. And when you get it up to max size, it produces 8,192 stress. And you can honestly, as long as you don't go more than 8 blocks away, or whatever you have this number set to on your radial chassis, away from the center axle here, you can go and do pretty much any shape as long as it's connected. So they're definitely a fun thing to play with. Now, what can we use this power for? Well, if I was to get myself say a speed controller, right? Well, these guys. And we're going to need a cog again. Because, you know, that's how it works. Put you here. Cog it up. There we go. And there we go. Let me get a stress, right? Let me try that again. Let's see, there's different things we can play with, but oh, that's cool. Add-on mods I haven't touched yet. Stressometer, right? This thing displays the current stress capacity of the attached kinetic network. So it lets you eyeball, based on a gauge, roughly how much stress this is using. Put that there. We're currently using no stress, right? Now, one thing I like to do with these, especially max-size windmill, is you throw an alternator on there. Oh, look, it stressed it out. We're actually moving too fast for the windmill. Overstressed. 128 is too stressful as well. Okay. Let's go to like 96 then. Nope. Still too stressed. 72, probably 64, honestly. There it goes. And moderate, 75%. Remaining capacity, 2,048 stress out of 8,192. So actually, let's do 72-ish, right? 84%, okay. So let's go to 84 then. 85, actually, okay. 99, so 86 maybe? Nope, 85 is as high as we can go. All right, well, that works. There we go. Remaining stress, 32 units. And right now, as fast as this thing is going, this alternator is generating 6,900 forge energy per tick. So what can we do with this? Well, the first thing, let me get one of these guys out too. You're going to want to do is make it daytime. You're going to need to get power out of this somehow, which is where these connectors come from. And there's large and small ones. Small connectors can handle up to 1,000 forge energy per tick. Large ones can handle up to 5,000. So this alternator is actually producing more than this thing can transfer. Yeah, it's kind of fun that way. I think I might be able to actually slap another one there. And then we'll connect you guys up. Like so. Nodes linked. Oh, with shaders, the wire really barely renders, but yeah. And these wires can actually clip through blocks, unlike immersive engineering. Now, the accumulator, the giant battery. Large amounts of electric energy, right? You figure an input connector and an output connector. And they can go anywhere on the front, back, side, top, bottom. Actively push energy to the blocks above and below. All right, now this is the max size accumulator. 3x3, 5 tall. So let's go ahead and slap you down here. And this is on pull mode, so we're gonna have to hit it with a wrench. Now it's on push. As pull, push, and none. And if you look at the base, you can actually see this little arrow. It tells you which way the energy is going to go. And then we can just hook up this to that. And network usage, 6.9 thousand RF per tick. Or forge energy per tick. There we go. And we've already generated, you know, 1.5 million plus. And then what you can do with this is say, bring this out. And we'll hook it up to, like, we'll use a motor for now, right? Because this is a block that accepts power. And you are facing the wrong way. There you go. And then we'll just do a connector here. Here. There we go. You have to hold shift to put that one on. And we'll set you to your push, your pull, right? And then I can just do you to there. And you can see thing is powered up. Currently, it is generating 3,072 stress, and it's using 3,100 forge energy per tick. That is at 32 RPM. It is not a 1-to-1 ratio between alternators and motors. Motors consume a lot more power than alternators produce. Actually, here, let me do that. Get rid of that as well. We'll put you here. Hold shift and it'll place the other way around. Okay, actually it was right the first time. This way we can actually see, the motor itself. Connect you to you. Now this will work for any block that takes power. I mean, various chargers and so on and so forth. If you want to use electricity with Create, you have to run it through a motor first, and then the motor will power different machines. And now if you right-click on this thin brown square here, you're not going to let me do it anymore, huh? There it goes. You can control the speed. And at max speed, it's trying to use 24,600 forged energy per tick. And you can see it is actually working, surprisingly. But it is draining the battery like crazy. So only do that if you have... You need to... There it goes. Wait till it pops up. There we go, 6,100. This is producing 6,900, so we're actually having a net gain. And it's actually generating a pretty decent amount of power here. Or decent speed, I should say. And now let me get you and you. No, come on. Regular gearbox. Thank you. So what I like to use these guys for is to power crushing wheels. Very simple little setup here. Make sure that the left-hand one is spinning clockwise, the right-hand one is counterclockwise. Then we get our crushing wheels out. There we go. And it's currently, 512 stress units per wheel, right? So you have to remember this number is doubled because there's 2 of these. Well, we're not using anywhere near our stress. So let me pop all this out. Let me get another one of you guys. There you go. Get your cog. $128. Now this is currently not actually powering anything, so it has no stress. It's just spinning around like crazy. All right, and you go here. You will go here, right? Now let's put our crushing wheels on. Oh, hey, look. Now we're spinning or at 1,000, right? How about I bump this up then to max speed? Crushing it. And at max speed, these things take 2,048. So half of what a full-size windmill can produce. I usually have a dedicated windmill just for my crushing setups. Now I need to check something here. Hey. Okay, good. Just making sure they're going the right way because they were getting fast enough that I couldn't tell. There we go. And now, like, say, if you want, we'll throw block of tough in. And at max speed, that's how quick it is. So these things are really good for that. If you're looking for something compact, motors are definitely the way to go. Or you can just do a windmill and, gear it up until it's getting these things at basically max speed, which is 256 RPMs, which is extremely fast. We are currently in peaceful. Let me turn that off. Let me grab a creeper spawn egg, right? This is the other use for crushing wheels. You can turn these into a mob farm. Oh, look. And he dropped gunpowder. Oh, go away. Thank you. Oh, wow, they exploded. Yeah, it can only handle one creature at a time. Hey, get in there. But if you have, belts feeding into these things, then yeah. And they do drop mob drops, which is great. There we go. But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. Um, Horizontal windmills, by the way, they look... It's a space consideration as to which windmill you use, and also aesthetics. Horizontals take up, quite a bit of space widthwise. Verticals take it, not as much widthwise, but definitely more in the vertical. So, I mean, it's up to you, whichever, design you choose to do. Personally, I usually prefer just the look of the vertical, so. But, either one works. But I am going to go ahead and call this an episode. Thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next one, signing out. Have fun.